Their starting center signing Deandre Ayton to a 2-year deal yesterday. The question all week has been, will the Lakers' moves be enough to keep star LeBron James satisfied? Yesterday on First Take, before the Ayton deal went down, Brian Windhorst had this to say about LeBron's future.
My conversations over the last 3 days have crystallized that the Lakers are essentially viewing LeBron as an expiring contract. And that may sound like a toss-off statement, but that's not insignificant. LeBron has never been an expiring contract, quite literally. Never in his 23-year career, over the 9 contracts he's signed, over all the different teams he's been on. And what happens to expiring contracts in the NBA? They're viewed as trade pieces. I'm just unlocking the door because I'm not as convinced as before of its impossibility.
Just unlocking the door.
Yeah, he's just forever and ever. This will be what people see when Wendy says stuff like that. But look, you can tell me all you want, and I believe you. Like, the most likely outcome is LeBron's on the Lakers this year, but it doesn't seem like anybody can get it to 100%, right? Like, there's still something hanging out there. And when you hear Wendy, who earlier in the week was pretty solid on that's where he's going to be, leave the door open a little bit. What do you think? Do you start imagining him on other teams?
Yeah, of course you do.
Which one?
You have to. Well, first of all, like when again, I go back to the statement that Rich Paul said when he talked about wanting to have a team that can compete for a championship, when he wants to play for a championship. And as Wendy said, there's only 1 year right now. So this could be a farewell tour. So put all that stuff together, and you have to think, where is the fastest, easiest path to the NBA Finals for LeBron James? It's the place he has avoided his entire career. That's right, everybody. It's right here in New York.
Oh, boy.
I want to see, I dare him, I double dog dare him. Like, if you really, really believe in all the words you're saying right there, the one place that you know you could go, all you have to do is say it. Sing it if you want, like Sinatra. New York, New York. If he does that, that's a gigantic narrative that you know he loves. They all love that, like, they love being part of the story. And it's a place that you could say, if he comes here, there is a path to the NBA Finals. And let me remind everybody, this New York franchise, the Knicks, it's more than a half century since they won a championship. He has 4. He's not going to catch Michael Jordan with 6, right? But a lot of people think if you win 1 here, it's like equal to 2. So just think about that. If you want the best story possible, because I'm all about the story, LeBron to New York is the best story.
This is what I'm talking about. Why did it take you till Thursday to get here? We've been sitting here all week listening to voices of reason.
Yes,
what do you think?
That's right.
What do you think about Alan?
I mean, look, as much as a Knicks to LeBron to the Knicks story would be fun, it is very difficult to see it happening for a variety of reasons. One, LeBron has a no-trade clause, so you have to make a deal that satisfies LeBron and the Knicks and the Lakers. That's going to be difficult to do on many levels. 2, again, I will remind everyone, LeBron James could have been a free agent and chose to play for any of the 30 NBA teams, and he opted into his $52.6 million contract.
$2 million.
That is correct. He wanted to get his $52.6 million. Once you take the money, though, it makes it very difficult to get him anywhere, let alone to a Knicks team that is right up against the second apron. They can't take on extra money. It's very hard to move stuff around. So, as much as it would be fun to happen, I do not see it happening with LeBron coming to the Knicks.
Difficult, Bobby, but if LeBron were to make it known that he wanted to do something like this, if we're living in the world that Alan Hahn has beautifully created for us here, where LeBron wants to go to New York and
some fun.
Let the Lakers know, how would that possibly work?
Well, who invited Alan to the show? I mean, we were smooth sailing the first 3 days here. No, I'm kidding, Alan. Listen, I would say it's a lot easier to do this in the offseason than during the regular season because rosters are expanded to 21 right now, and certainly something like this would be complicated because of all the moving parts. I would say this, anything is possible in the CBA. You just have to be creative and you have to expand it, but when you're looking at the Knicks roster, really the only player that works would be Karl Anthony Towns. Because when you're looking at everyone else, we get into all these complicated CBA rules, when it'd be aggregating contracts and the Lakers' inability to take back more money because they're hard capped at the first apron here. So when you look at all those semantics, really it's just Towns for, I know, Alan.
This league is killing me. It used to be fun. You could make trades. It was all possible, but you're right. The rules do make it difficult.
But here's the one thing that I keep on going back to that Rich Paul statement on I guess it was Monday. And in that statement it said to win a championship, right? The trade market, and I know I said on Monday that there was no market for him, and I say that there's no market for him because I go back to that statement. If you're going to make a trade, you are trading away 2 or 3 core pieces of your roster. And what that roster looks like right now is going to be awfully different with a LeBron James on your roster. It's probably going to be even more diminished than what it currently is.
Yeah. The goal was truly to win a championship.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have opted into his contract because he is winning a championship with the Lakers, and it's very difficult to get LeBron off the Lakers to a team where he can win a championship.
And let me quickly be clear.
I want to get McMahon in.
Yeah, I just want to be clear here. But what I'm saying is really more about LeBron and less about the Knicks. It's not the Knicks pursuing him. It's LeBron saying, if I want to go somewhere, that's the place I want to go, and I'd be curious to see if he would ever do it.
McMahon, do you agree with that? Like, if LeBron did want to go somewhere to win a championship, do the Knicks make sense?
I mean, the easiest path is to go east, so it makes sense. Knicks, we could talk about Cavs if we want to continue to kind of live in, fairy tale land. But Bontemps, as much as it pains me to say it, is right. LeBron opted in. When he did that, he prioritized finances, $52.6 million, over flexibility. Now, maybe he's going to get to a point where he says, I got my money, eat it too, give me a buyout so I can go wherever the hell I want. I would say, why would the Lakers give him a $50 million, whatever it ends up being in the negotiations, going away present? I think it's probably going to require a buyout for any of these scenarios to be realistic possibilities, just because why would you give up a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, part of your foundation moving forward, for what probably is going to be a ring-chasing retirement tour?
That's right. That's right. If you put LeBron on the Knicks as currently constructed, sure, it makes a lot of sense. But that's not, if there was a trade, that's not what would be happening.
Right.
So, yes, we will continue to live in this fantasy world, I promise you, because it is fun.
SportsCenter with more on our breaking news just this hour. Shams Charania reporting that former #1 overall pick Deandre Ayton cleared waivers and agreed to a deal with the Lakers. 2 years with a player option. He negotiated a buyout with the Blazers because he said he wanted to play for a winner, and there was apparently some stiff competition to get him. But alas, he's in Hollywood. And here's what a potential lineup could look like for the Lakers with Ayton sliding into that starting center role. He does, of course, add a much-needed size to a Lakers team that ranked in the bottom third of the league in rebounding percentage last season. Let's bring in our front office insider, Bobby Marks, for much more on this and to break it down. Let's talk about it. How you like the fit, Ayton, with the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, considering where they were about 10 hours ago, it's certainly an improvement here. I mean, we had Jared Vanderbilt as their starting center, and no offense to Jared Vanderbilt, but he's better served coming off the bench. Ayton was the best available center that was left in the free agent market, certainly coming off that buyout here. I think 82% of his shots, or field goal percentage at the rim last year. I think the one concern for me, El, is not really a paint presence as far as blocking shots, less than 1 last year in Portland here, but certainly fills a need, something the Lakers needed. There's still some work to do, especially for that bench. They need some perimeter shooting, but it's a good start for an offseason that started off a little bit slow here.